So, welcome to Tuesday training. I obviously want to kind of mix it up and bring in my mindset friend from the outside to the inside of Zyia. So, this is going to be a really great mindset training that you can rewatch or on replay, or you can participate live here. If you're live with us, then you have a full advantage of interaction with one of the coolest people that I know. Meredith was I met her as a grad assistant when I was an assistant at Lindenwood, and we became instant friends. If you've ever had one of those, we kind of like the same things other than soccer. We like nature and music and Bloody Marys, fitness, and
Oh yeah, Bloody Marys for
we
sure.
like to grind together. She and I don't know, she really made me fall in love with mindset and that portion of like relating that to my team. I was always kind of like technical and tactical and conditioning, and she made it more fun for the girls at the high school level and the college level. As a goalkeeper trainer, she trained a lot of my goalkeepers in high school level and at the college level. So, but the girls gravitate to her because of just her mindset. So I'll let her talk a little bit about what she's been into since she left me all alone at Lindenwood when I took over. But we collabed together. We went to national coaching conference together and had way too much fun. Other than learning and growing together. But one thing is for sure is that mindset is huge for me, and it's just as huge for Meredith as she's certified. So I'll let her take over from here on out, and I can't thank her enough for doing this. It's nice to be able to have a non-Zyia perspective. And if you like self-development, she's definitely somebody that you would want to keep in touch with. She's got a lot of good exercises. So with further ado, I will pass it to my friend Meredith.
All right, well thanks Erica, and it's nice to virtually meet everybody. Hello. So a little bit of what I do right now. I'm an 8th grade science teacher in Sedalia, Missouri, and I also run my side business, Brick Wall Training. And within that business, I train soccer players and all athletes on their mindset. And some exciting things happening right now is I actually got my youngest client last week. I'm working with a 4- and 5-year-old on their mindset, which is really exciting because I feel like you can start cultivating that earlier, the better. So that's a little bit, sorry, my cat is wanting to gravitate towards me as well today. So today I'm going to show you some tools that you can use immediately, whether in your own life, your kids' life, or in your students or athletes, whatever it is. But the tools that I'm going to show you might not like all of them, and that's okay. My goal for you today is just to give you some sort of value, whether that's a nugget of inspiration or a nugget of knowledge. Just take what you need. And yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So the first thing you need, headphones or string, and if you need to go get it, you can go get that, and then a pen. And you're going to put your headphones on the end of your pen or string. I'll give everyone a second. I think some people had to go get some things. Necklace, whatever. Yeah, that's perfect, Erica. However it lands. Yep. And I'm gonna wait a couple more seconds here. All right, so you need your headphones on your pen, and I would recommend just like being a hand's length away from the pen to hold it. That's all. I'm gonna try and move my screen so you can see what I'm doing. Another thing you want to do, you want to put your elbow on like your knee or armchair or table so that you're not holding it up like this. You want it on something solid. And then what we're going to do, you're going to get your pen really still. And with this exercise, you're not going to move your hand, okay? You're not going to move your hand whatsoever. And what you're going to do, you're going to focus on the pen, and try and follow my instructions. Okay, are you guys up for it? Ready to try? Okay, I want you to look at your pin, the top of your pin, and focus on the pin cap, and focus on moving the pin left to right. A little short, without moving your hand. With left to right, just using your focus. Okay? And if you don't get it on the first try, that's okay. Take a deep breath. It takes patience. Keep trying and just keep listening to me. Okay? Once you get it left and right, start moving front to back without moving your hand. Start moving the pin front to back, front to back. Focus on your pin. Think about moving the pin front to back without moving your hand. Okay. Then what I want you to do, I want you to start moving the pin in a counterclockwise circle. Now the circles take time, so be patient. Focus on the pin cap. Think about moving that pin in a counterclockwise circle without moving your hand. Okay. And if you're still working on your lines side to side or forward back, keep working on that. But if you're ready to go the opposite direction in your circle, go ahead and make your pin move in the opposite direction. Okay. And like I said, you might not get this the first try, and that's okay. It just takes a little bit of time and patience. I like to just take a deep breath and then try again. But what I'd like for you to share out, either unmute yourself or just unmute yourself and share. What's something that you noticed? What did you notice with what we just did? Were you able to move the pin? Were you not able to move the pin? What happened? I want to know.
I was like gripping it really tight.
Yeah?
My fingers have like chopstick, like really tight.
Erica, were you able to move it in the directions that you wanted it to go?
I mean, the front to back and side to side were easier. It was like the, you know, circular was obviously harder.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the more
oh yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like the more that I stared at the pin cap, like I felt like my eyes were doing the job. So I don't know if it was really moving or just my eyes were moving.
So it was moving. You did get it in the direction you wanted it to go. Nice, nice. Who did not get it in the direction they wanted to go?
I feel like I didn't get the circles.
And that's okay.
I don't feel like I got any of it.
Let's see, who said that? Who said that?
Oh, me.
Okay, you didn't get any of it? Okay. Why
I
not?
mean, maybe a little bit the side to side. Honestly, I think because I could hear my kids yelling in the background and I was not focused.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I encourage you to try it again later when you have quiet time. But
when they're in bed.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But do what?
I said when they're in bed. It's the only time it's quiet.
Yeah, when they're in bed. Perfect. But yeah, the fact that you noticed that too, that you had those distractions. So I'm going to take Leanne's because Leanne was a success story. But why do you think that happened? Why was Leanne able to get her pin to move how she wanted to go? What do you think happened? Anybody have any ideas? Because you weren't moving your hand, Leanne, right?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I was thinking that it was going to move. I was thinking positive.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems crazy, but what is happening whenever we just went through that exercise is as you're thinking side to side, forward, back circles, whatever you're thinking, you're focusing on that. And what's happening is a lightning storm of impulses is happening in our brain. And what happens is those lightning impulses go all the way, travel down our arm to make micro muscle movements, right? So you were thinking, move the pin, you were seeing, move the pin, and then the pin started to move. So this is the part, if I'm working with a client, one of my sports athletes, I start talking about the game of inches, right? So in the game of sport, any sport, like in soccer, it's a game of inches. You take a shot, the goalie tips it by inches, right? A couple inches more, it could have been a goal. And so what we do now is that little piece, that those inches can be made up with our mental game, right? And our mindset and how we train our mindset and how we cultivate our mindset. So that's just a easy, simple way to kind of show the power of our minds and the power of visualization. Do you guys have any questions so far? At any point, feel free to shout out and I can clarify or go into something deeper, because I'm here to support you if you're interested in something. Let's see. So, like I said, in like the realm of sports, I think of our mindset in the game of inches, right? But now we're adults, and as I've been transitioning into my adult life, I have figured out that for me, the game of inches has turned into the game of minutes, right? So me cultivating my mindset isn't going to help me push the ball a couple inches to stop a goal, but the time, the minutes that I put in and we put into our habits, into our mindset, is what's going to help us propel us forward. So my next question. So that kind of shows our mindset and the power of our minds. And so my next question is to you, and I want you to think about it for a second, and then if you feel courageous and brave and want to share out, I encourage you to do that. But how many minutes right now in your life, minutes, not talking about hours, minutes in your daily life, do you dedicate to growing your mindset or cultivating your mental health? So, you know, some examples: meditation, yoga, breathing exercises, journaling, writing, planning, let's see, cold showers. Yeah, share in the chat if you feel comfortable too. Erica said 60 minutes. Exercise, how much water you intake. I think the nutritious food you eat, and sleep. To me, those are all ways to build your mindset, to build your mind. Let's see, let me check the chat. I do 30 minutes exercise. Excellent. And you know, with exercise, that's a great way just to relieve stress, but also it's a good way to clear your mind. So all those different things that you're doing, I want you to think about the minutes that you spend working on your mind every day. Good. I see some people, my chat's popping up, but someone drinks a gallon of water a day. That's fantastic. Impressive. You probably have to go to the bathroom a lot. So next, thinking about how much you are investing in yourself right now in the minutes to build your habits. My question that we're going to build on here is, could you invest at least 1 minute to one of those things, if you haven't already, to build towards your unlived life or to build towards your unlived business, right? Everyone in here is working with Zyia to work on their business, but also to work on your own healthy lifestyle. And so could you invest at least 1 minute in one of those things that you're interested in? So what we're going to do, we're going to dig into creating, not only creating some habits that you want, but also sustaining them. The secret is in the sustaining process, right? We can create them and do them 1 or 2 days, but it's the sustaining process. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Let me see, I'm checking my notes here. Okay, this is what you need. If you don't have a piece of paper, go grab a piece of paper now. And you need something to write with. Piece of paper and something to write with. Okay, so thinking about working on your mindset, working towards your unlived life, your unlived business. At the top of that paper, I want you to write this: what I really want is. At the top, at the header of your paper, I want you to write, what I really want is. What I really want is ... And what we're going to do, we're going to spend 5 minutes doing a free write. So if you haven't spent any time exercising or working on your mind today, I'm gifting you 5 minutes right now to do a free write. Now, when I say free write, it's not always free, and let me tell you why. When you write during this 5 minutes, I want you to try and keep your pen or your pencil to the paper the entire time. Try not to lift it up. Try and have a free flow of thoughts to pen. And I want you to be open. Try not to judge your thoughts or self-edit. So try not to cross out. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Nobody's going to look at this but you. If your thoughts go in any sort of direction, whether, you know, what I really want goes towards your family, your business, your lifestyle, whatever it is, let it go. Keep writing about it. Try not to judge. And lastly, if you get stuck, what I want you to write is what I really mean is, and then continue your thought, and then that can help get you unstuck. Or something I like to do, I just like to restate the topic. So if I were writing, I'd say what I really want is, okay? So 5 minutes, free write. Keep that pen to the paper the entire time. I'm going to time it. So I'm going to start it. I'll mute myself, and then I'll let you know when your 5 minutes is up. Ready? Go. Yeah, 1 minute left. Okay, and go ahead and finish the thought you're on. Whenever you finish your last sentence, I want you to go back, and I'm going to give you a couple minutes here. I want you to reread what you wrote. And when you reread it, I want you to circle, underline, highlight, whatever your style is, to signify important terms, thoughts, actions. Go back, reread, circle, underline, and I'll give you just a couple minutes to do that.
Mayor, what did you say again?
Go back through and reread what you wrote. And then I want you to circle or underline or highlight anything that's important, whether that's important thought, something that sticks out to you, an action that you wrote down. And you guys still have a little bit of time to continue rereading. But if anyone's feeling brave and wants to share something in the chat, I encourage that. The more interaction we can get to know each other, I think that would be best. But if you're not comfortable with that, that's okay too.
Well, I guess I'll go. What do you want me to do? Do you just want me to
Let's hear
highlight?
it.
Do you just want me to highlight?
You share anything that you feel comfortable sharing. Oh, you want to highlight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Yeah, go ahead.
My hand was about to go numb. I don't know if I've wrote that much in a long time.
Right.
I was all
Yeah, I saw you shaking your hand out.
I kind of was all over the place, and I'm always like that. That's a personality trait of mine. But I think it's all about like healthy and happy and learning from my mistakes. If you know me well, you know that everything that I've done has been bad, and something great has happened from that. I just said I want my team to flourish in love and be as successful as they need to be. I want to create something, and I've always wanted this in soccer, to create something bigger than I ever am and was part of. I want my kids to see me in a light that I saw a lot of people while I grew up, learning and growing together. I want to keep training physically, mentally, and being okay and satisfied with choices I make in the kitchen. I want to create content out of creativity, love, and passion for my team in the Zyia industry. Eventually, I would love to be back to the game of soccer, and I would like my family to also travel and live carefree and be passionate about all things and one thing that may give them joy. That's it.
Snaps for Erica. Yes, girl.
Bailey,
yes, girl.
Unmute.
That was all incredible.
Bailey, you got to read yours.
Oh, you want to hear my snaps? You want to hear them?
That's some stuff right there. Bailey, read yours. What you wrote in the chat.
It's gonna make me cry.
Yay.
So I have to preface this with, I've had a really rough day where I feel like I've just been yelling at my kids all day. So, oh my God, don't look at me. Okay, what I really want is to be a better mom, to spend more time focusing on my mental health and how my attitude and aggression affects my family. I want to better myself so that I can be a better mom, daughter, wife, sister, and friend. I want to do more activities with my kids. I'm always so busy and they get pushed to the side a lot. But at the same time, I want to be a powerful female presence for them so that they know that a woman can be the breadwinner too. I want them to want to marry a woman who is their partner and not their housewife. I want them to know I would move mountains for them just to see them smile. Sorry.
Yes, snaps from Bailey. Thank you so much for sharing.
That
Yes,
was so good, girl. Cheers.
I know I need a glass of wine.
I need to give a big hug.
Yes, hey, love it. Wonderful. Anybody else like to share?
Taylor. Sacrifice. It's her first day at Zyia. She's like, here I am.
Well, I guess I'll share. I wrote a lot though.
Yay.
I just put like a lot of like to like get to like peak fitness, and then just have like a good last 2 years of soccer. Just like continue to be a leader throughout my life, like my whole life. I wrote a lot about having a good relationship with my dad. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry.
Okay, we all cry.
But
Girl. I have a good relationship with my dad. To see my mom happy. Good health for my mom. To spend more time on mental health on myself. Good grades throughout the rest of my school. Let's see. For all my hard work with soccer to pay off, to coach college soccer one day, to have like a healthy relationship, just like with friendships and with relationships throughout my life. Let's see. But yeah, that's pretty much everything else just kind of trickled down through like fitness and stuff like that, and just to be a part of a team for like the rest of my life, stuff like that. But yeah.
Absolutely. Man, you guys wrote a lot, and you know, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I was listening to Brene Brown today. I don't know if anybody else listens to her about vulnerability, and if you were had the courage to share today, you just showed one of the greatest strengths, which is to be vulnerable, and I really appreciate that. And I'm sure that you feel better too, because you know it's a good release. So thank you so much for all those who have shared, and if you haven't shared, you know, that's fine too. Feel free to share it in the chat if you feel comfortable doing that throughout this. So now that you have all those wonderful unlived visions written down, what I want you to do, I want you to pinpoint one thing, whatever that is. And, you know, we can really categorize everything into 4 categories: mind, body, relationships, or business, right? So think about which sector you're in to focus on. And if it changes, that's okay. But for the purpose of this 45-minute session, I want you to choose one thing, okay? And what I want you to think about now is, what is one thing you can do every single day to work towards being that person, or having that vision, or making it happen? So think about one action you can take every single day to work towards that vision, that person. And feel free to write it down or just have it in your mind. And what we're going to do, we're going to go back, we're going to talk about, we're just going to take 1 minute to visualize that person and what she's doing, right? So back when I was talking about the pin, and you were moving the pin back and forth, circles, right? We were visualizing. And that's another great tool that you can use to get to those things that you wrote down. right? Take time to see yourself doing them, immerse yourself in the emotions of how it feels, what do you see, what do you hear, things like that. So we're gonna just do a quick practice today. And I want you to think about one thing that you wrote down that you wanna work towards. And we're just gonna take a minute, close your eyes or turn your screen off, whatever you need to do, turn away from the screen so that you're comfortable. But I just want you to close your eyes and just be within yourself. And I want you to pretend that there's a GoPro on your head. Okay, so that's how your perspective is, like you're seeing through a GoPro on your head. And I want you to immerse yourself into that vision or that thing that you're working towards or you wrote down. And I want you to immerse yourself into those feelings. Take a second, take a couple deep breaths. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Vibrations moving in and out of your body. And then once you can relax your body just a little bit, I want you now to see and smell and feel and see and hear and even taste what you'd be feeling or tasting as you are living out that thing that you wrote down. Take your time here. Okay, and then take a deep breath. Come back, open your eyes slowly. Okay. So you guys have done a lot of hard work already. You've written stuff down, how you want to be. You've seen it in your head, right? And now comes the most important step, and that is your action towards that, right? So each of us is responsible for ourselves, and I know everyone's at a different spot with kids, no kids, in college, out of college, all different, okay? So I just want you to focus on what you can do every single day. And so today, like I said, we're going to talk about habits, right? And I want to first talk about this book, Atomic Habits. This is a great resource and book if you are interested. This is by James Clear. And this is where I am pulling a lot of the ideas that I practice in my life, but also I'm going to share with you tonight. And so there's a couple of things I wrote down here. Okay, so just a couple things about this book really quick. It really goes through the science of habits, right? Like how and why our brain has habits, why we have good habits, why we have bad habits. And I think that I'm a kind of a geek, so that stuff's like really interesting to me, but it's really digestible as well when you're interested in like trying to change your behavior. So I pulled this from the first couple chapters, and this is kind of cool because we're doing this right now. So there's 2 steps to change. It's to first decide the type of person you want to be, which we've already done with our writing. And then second, prove it to yourself with small wins. Okay, so I want to talk about the small wins. The small wins are, 1 to 2 minutes minimum every single day. The trick is doing it every single day. If you can commit 1 minute while your coffee's brewing to close your eyes and do a breathing exercise, but you do it every single day, that's when you are going to create that habit to work towards where you want to be. Or if it's to get peak performance, right? That's maybe doing 100 burpees every single day. I know that seems extreme, but it's something that you can do and sustain every single day. And I say 1 to 2 minutes because it doesn't matter how long you do something. It's in the chunks and then stacking it on top of each other day after day after day after day. So that's kind of what now it's time to do that work, right? I can't do to start today. not start your unlived life. And if you're, James Clear also has a really great newsletter. He sends it out on Thursdays. It's called the 321 newsletter. 3 thoughts from him, 2 quotes from other people, and then 1 question for you. It's just a nice little read. I really enjoy having that. So you can go to jamesclear.com and sign up for that newsletter. Okay, so let me connect this all together, okay, the wrap up. You know, all of these things that you've written down and thought about and talked about are ways to help you grow as a person so that you can go help your kids, so you can go help your business, so you can go career, so you can go help your team, right? If we don't take care of ourselves first, it's much harder to take care of those other people. And I know there's mothers in the group, and you know, obviously you guys are amazing, but you have to take 1 to 2 minutes minimum, you know, doing something. And I know a lot of you guys exercise and put in 60 minutes, 30 minutes, but if you're not doing anything, add it. And just try and get some streaks going, stack it up. My last thing to you is the power to who you want to become is found in the action that you take when things aren't going so well and are going well. And that action is also with your habits. So as things go up and down, as business goes up and down, as all this chaos is going on, you can rely back on your habits. Okay, that's pretty much all I got. Open to questions, to help anybody clarify, or extension if you want to, you know, talk more about it, whatever it is. I'm an open book. So
I think it's funny that you talked about that book, because last Tuesday training I had talked about that book. And
really,
if you know me, you know I'm super goal oriented, right? Like I was just sitting here looking through all my like past trackers, and I'm just like trying to like reflect or whatever. But if you know me, you know that I'm goal oriented. But that book talks about like focusing on small habits instead of big goals, because like it's like once you get to the goal, then what? Then do you go back to old habits? So it really does break down like things. And even I talked to my husband about this for his business. Like that book was life changing to me, because it really talks about small wins. And I know in the soccer world we talk about small wins, and here in Zyia I really try to hit like, you know, hitting $1,000 in PV. Like those are small wins. And even for me, you know, it's like you hit a rank and then you want the next one. You know, it's like you don't sit and fester and celebrate because you're all worked up about getting to the next tee. And in my old job at AT&T was really like that. You know, we would hit goals and they'd be like, all right, now I need you to do this one. And it's just like you're just like this hamster in a wheel, and you're just grinding, and you're never like enjoying or celebrating. So I think that's like such a good illustration of how well we like connect, because we just talked about that book. I literally have it, and I highlight all through that book, and it really is something that I really do to change not just my business, but my life. So yeah, thanks for that. That was great.
you're welcome. That's pretty cool.
Do you kind of want to talk about like what you do? Like, cause I know I have a lot of Zyia friends that work with like mindset coaches or just like life coaches or whatever. Like, do you kind of want to talk about like kind of what you do? Cause I know you're up and running, and kind of some stuff that you do on the side.
I would love to. Yeah, absolutely. So the training that I do, I do in-person soccer skill training, and also in-person or virtual mindset training or mental training. So whether it's in person or virtual for the mental side of the house, you know, I do a lot of I just took you through what I do at the beginning with almost every client, because that helps me understand what they really want. And then I work with as young as 4 years old to 18. Really, I'm the high school head coach here, so I work with my high schools as well, but I also have my private clients. But then we really break down the goals, and then we talk about, you know, you talked about goals, Erica, and really when we're talking, like, if I'm like, I want to win a district championship, that's a great goal, but there's a lot of factors that I can't control that are in that goal. right? But if I say I'm going to go out and juggle my soccer ball for 5 minutes every day, well, okay, I can control that. And then if I do that every day, then I can work towards that goal. So we break down what they want to do, and then we do that, kind of do some process goals. But then really there's a lot of things I work with my clients on. I talk self-talk. We talk about regulating and switching their self-talk if it's negative. We talk about like doing pre-competition routines, post-competition routines. We go through a mistake ritual where, you know, when they mess up out on the field, it's a word and then emotion. I teach my clients how to meditate. I taught a 17-year-old basketball player today how to meditate, and he was excited about it, which makes me really excited. But let's see, that journaling. Yeah, so that's kind of like what I do on the mental side of the house. Soccer skills, I'm a trained goalkeeper, so that's my wheelhouse, but I also train field players as well. And, you know, I go out to clients' houses and work with them one-on-one, or a small group setting. I'm getting ready to do some small group settings in Sedalia in June. So that's a little bit of what I do. And honestly, you know, if you guys are interested in this, Erica, can you give them my contact information?
Yeah.
Is that something you could do?
I can email it
Cool.
out.
And I would say, yeah, if you're interested and you reach out to me by Friday, you know, I'll give you 15% off any package. If you're thinking about using this for your kids, if you have an athlete in the house, I would love to work with them. Like I said, I can do it virtually. So, you know, being in here, I definitely wanted to give something percentage off if anybody was interested. So
Thanks, Mayor. Well, I know it was a long time, but my whole thing is like, you know, I want to practice weekly on mindset. And what I love about this is we can have a small group of us, even if it's just one person or if it's just me and another person, at least I can record it and offer it to the group. So don't feel like you have to like cut off, you know, an hour every day of the week to jump on, but every training I have ever been on or watched through the business has been valuable, and it's, you know, made me a stronger asset to my company. So, you know, Monday mindset, Tuesday trainings, you know, obviously Wednesday's a huge sales day for us, you know, fun fitness Friday, like those are the kind of things that I want to incorporate in the environment of our team. And anybody that has ideas or has like a Tuesday training, I'm up for that. So thank you so much, Mayor. Meredith, what about whole teams? Oh, I need to connect you with Rachel.
yeah.
She's in the Springfield area. So
Oh,
you could
nice. Yeah, heck yeah.
go up there in Illinois and do some training. So I think the best thing about Meredith is she's so relatable
Stacy,
to
you're welcome.
younger kids, older kids, girls, boys. Like she's so versatile. So
Yeah.
but yeah, does anyone have any
Thanks,
questions?
Erica. Yeah, my 4-year-old.
You don't have my 4-year-old.
I know, I don't have your.
Or my 9 or 10.
Should probably hook that up though.
That's okay, Stacy. We're glad you're here. Jen, I know Jen's on too. She's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to end the recording. If you guys don't have any questions, Wednesday we have new products, noon. I'm sure you guys will all be excited to see what's out in the last week of May. So we can really, this is like our overtime, Meredith. This is like the end of the week. So we're getting
Yeah. You guys can do it. Get after it.
Yeah. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.